Hey, it's Erik J. Olson, and who do I have here?
Well, it's Kevin Daisy, your
Kevin Daisy.
fearless business partner.
What is up, man? Hey, look at these glasses, everybody.
Yeah.
What's going on there, man? You losing your eyesight?
Nope. It's just so I don't lose my eyesight like you.
Yeah, so it's ironic because I actually do wear glasses and I just don't have them on right now. And Kevin doesn't actually wear glasses and he's wearing glasses.
A little more studious over here. This is my blue light glasses. I'm on this computer a lot, so might as well try it out.
Nice. So, hey, what's going on with your name there? It looks a little bit different than normal.
Yep, I got a new job. No, we have an announcement. I know I've posted a few things about it, but we wanted to make an announcement about something we've been doing, something we've been up to, and something that we've been passionate about getting started. And it's Array Mentors. So I thought it was appropriate to add that to my name today.
Yeah, so Array Mentors it's something that came about because, we talk a lot about entrepreneurship, and we have a podcast that airs every single day called Journey to $100 Million. And it's the story in real time of the journey that we're on to grow this business over the course of the next 10 years. And because of those things, we get asked a lot by people like, hey, how did you do this? Or when you were in this situation, what did you do? Or like, how do you handle clients when they ask this, or, that they need that? And so we're constantly giving advice. And so one of the things that we thought we could do is pool together the people who have a common need, frankly, of us, and to ask us questions and are looking for advice, and we could pull them together into a mastermind. And we're calling it Array Mentors because it really does mirror a lot of the lessons that we've learned over time with Array Digital. And, the things that we're learning right now as well, we're going to be sharing with the mastermind. So it's something that, that we're launching today. And Shannon, if you could show the website, if you guys go to arraymentors.com, we have some more information up there about the website too, and what it looks like, and like why you would even consider Array Mentors.
Yeah, to add to what Erik was saying is, Array Digital is our baby. It's the business that we've built together, and it's a combination of lessons that he's learned, I've learned before we joined forces, and then a lot of learning in the last 3+ years with Array Digital. And we'll talk about some of how we've learned some things other than just doing it ourselves. But a lot of outside influence, a lot of learning and reading, a lot of other groups that we're part of. And Array is the most important thing to us. And so Array Mentors made a lot of sense. It's what has gotten us to where we are. And we want to make sure we could share that. And so calling it Array Mentors just made a lot of sense. Array Digital is the reason that we're here. So
yeah, just constant lessons learned, literally on a daily basis. We're improving everything that we're doing. And it's interesting when I talk to entrepreneurs who are not quite as far along as we are. And I say that meaning that, like, I think about the journey that we're on, all of us as entrepreneurs, as kind of like this path. And if you want it, like you could be on this path. Some people want to be on the path, some people don't. But like we're here somewhere, and there's other people that are like, not quite as far along on the path. There are others that are much further ahead than us who probably won't benefit from being in Array Mentors. But the folks that that are new on the path and either starting a business and running it part-time or full-time, those are the kinds of folks that we think that we can really help. And in particular, if you have some sort of a service-based business, that makes a lot of sense because that's the kind of business that we're in.
Yeah, that's what we know best. Yeah. Recurring revenue, MRR, a service that you sell or provide. That's what we're going to do best for sure. That's just our background. So that's opens it up to a lot of possibilities. Yes, it's not for everyone. This is definitely not for everyone. And we're not allowing everyone. That's for sure. It's going to be selective, handpicked by Erik and I, to make sure that, we have the right people in the group, because we don't want well, every member is another benefit of being in the group. So we want to make sure that we bring in the right members so that everyone's getting value from one another. And Erik and I will be learning as well. So it's not just us telling everyone what to do. It's a group setting. It's a sharing type environment. So we got to handpick each person and make sure that they're in the right path and on the right track. Not everyone wants to do what we're doing. Some people want a lifestyle business, or they just want to freelance and just kind of do what they want to do, and that's totally fine. We're looking for people that are looking to grow, scale, maybe not to some enormous amount, but that they want to grow and be more efficient. I think that's the one thing too, is it's not maybe doing 100 million, but maybe it's, I just want to do it efficiently without extra overhead, or and I want to have some good cash flow and some money left over to be provided for your family or whatever it may be. So, we're looking for people that are serious, that have a business, or they're basically starting a business, but it's going to be something that they are doing and they're passionate about it. Not someone that's like, well, I'm thinking about maybe starting a business. It's we want people that are really all in.
Yeah, totally agree. And the thing is, it took, for my personal journey, it took 8 years before I was able to cross the $1 million mark. And Kevin, a little bit longer, because he started his business before I started mine, before we merged about 3.5 years ago.
Yep.
And it's a tough journey. Now, the best way to learn is to gain your own experience, no doubt about that. But it also takes time. In my case, it was 8 years. I had to invest 8 years of trial and error and just tons and tons of really, frankly, fundamental mistakes when it came to running a business and employees and clients. And I just learned the hard way. I wish that I could have taken 2 or 3 or 5 years off of that journey. So that's really kind of the intent, is that if you're looking to build up your company, especially if you're a part-time, if you have a company already and you're part-time and you want to go full-time, or if you've already gone full-time and you're looking to like hire that first employee, or even like that 5th employee, like this is a good place for you. Like, these are all the lessons that we've learned over the last 8 to 10 years.
Yeah, and absolutely. And it's really, it's really the last couple of years is when it starts to kind of like come together, and we look back and go, man, I wish we knew this or that. And, 10 years ago, that would have been so helpful. And I think everyone is going to be the same way. And you can talk to people here and there, and they might give you a little piece of advice here and there, but something like this, and we're in other groups like this that we've participated in, you need something that kick you in the butt, and having a group of other owners or entrepreneurs that can hold you accountable is a very powerful part of it as well. So it's not just you can go on YouTube and be like, well, how's the best way to do this? But actually applying that is a totally different thing. You can read a book, right? And there's like, oh, there's so much good stuff in there, and you don't apply any of it. Almost every time, no one applies any of it. They just go, oh, yeah, that was a great book. And they put it down and they go on. What did you take out of that book and actually apply? I think, Erik, for me and you, like, usually it's like one thing from a book we might actually implement, and that's worth it, right? That book was totally worth it. And then you might go back to it again later and go, oh, there's more stuff in here. But it just takes a lot of time to go through those exercises and go, okay, now we can implement this and implement that. But if you can start a business on some basic principles or basic things that we've learned, you can be in a much better place if you start that way. It's really hard to change once you've kind of grown a team and process. It's hard to change. So if you can start with some of these things in place, that'll be a huge help too.
Yeah, I think one of the interesting things that you talked about, Kevin, is yes, you can get a book, you can go on YouTube, you can find out a lot of information about starting and scaling a business. And that's all really relevant, good information. And I do it all the time. I'm coming out with a book by the end of this year about that as well.
Yeah.
But when it comes to books or videos, it's really kind of generic, right? It's like most people, most of the time, this will apply. What's
Sure.
really nice about a mastermind is that it's customized for you. So in a mastermind, you get together with like-minded people who are at about the same level as you or the same place in their journey. And you can tell them the intricacies of your situation, because your situation is just going to be a little bit different than everyone else's. It's not going to be cookie cutter. It's not going to be generic. And so you can say, well, I know the book, so a certain book says I should do this, but in my situation, it's a little bit different, slightly different industry. And that's where the mastermind can really help and provide much better experience sharing and advice for you that you can then take those nuggets. So instead of getting like one generic nugget from a book, you can take away like 5 or 6 recommendations and experience shares from other mastermind members. Take all that in and then figure out like what pieces of each piece of advice you want to use. And then you have a great solution for your situation.
Absolutely. So just case in point is Eric and I are part of a mastermind, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute about we're going on a trip to travel for that. And so we value masterminds and other groups, and it's part of how we're growing, right? It's a big part of how we're doing what we're doing. And even we're in the industry specific one, that everyone runs their business differently, or they're different niche, or they're different this. So their questions are always very unique. And my situation is like this. And you're like, oh, wow, okay, that's different. Even though they have the same exact business as us, but totally different situation, or they run things this way, or they have contractors versus employees, or they have, there's just so many different ways you can slice it. And so without having those real conversations, to say, all right, well, let's look at your situation and let's try to figure out the best way to do it. Or better yet, there's someone else in the group as the group grows that's like, I do exactly the same thing. I'm going to tell you what I did and what worked for us. And then that you have a clear roadmap to what will work versus, well, most people, sometimes this may work. And that's the difference, and that's the power of it. And then you have like these group brainstormings, like, all right, let's help. Let's go with Ski Man right here says, yo, what's going on, Ski? So if Ski was in the group and Ski, how do we help Ski? Let's all talk about Ski for the next, 10 minutes. And that's kind of the power of a mastermind, is that here's Ski's issue that he raised. And now we're all going to put our minds together to figure out how we're going to help Ski. And that's, you can't get that from a YouTube video or from a book.
So. Yeah, totally agree. Yeah, Kevin mentioned that we're in an industry-specific mastermind, and it's perfect for us. But we're also in quite a few, actually. So I attribute a lot of the initial growth of Array Digital, and frankly, even the formation of Array Digital, to another mastermind that we participate in called the Entrepreneurs Organization. As a matter of fact, Kevin and I met at an Entrepreneurs Organization learning event, and that's when we started to collaborate on projects. So, that's one of the things that a mastermind can bring as well, is you're in a room with like-minded people who may need another, a partner, another provider that does a little bit something different than they provide, and then they bring you into a deal. And that happens to us over and over and over again. So that's exactly what happened. Like, in the particular case with me and Kevin, we met at a mastermind meeting of the Entrepreneurs Organization. And then he had a client that had a need for what my company provided. And it was like literally within the first 5 minutes of talking, we were like, yeah, we could work on that project together. And so like there was instant value right there. Never mind, we were at an event that was a learning event with a speaker that had been brought in. So it's just like positives. We're still a part of the Entrepreneurs Organization. We've joined this agency-specific mastermind as well. And there's other ones that we've looked into as well. I know, Kevin, like you've looked into quite a few.
Yeah. So in my journey to, the Ski says, ouch. Oh, what did we do? We messed them up.
No. Ski always says, ouch.
Oh.
He usually finds something that we did wrong.
So, and I'll mention Ski here in a second too. So in my journey to try to find another group that I can be part of, I've reached out to a few different groups, and I've actually been approached by some as well. But I was like, well, let me investigate. I knew it's worth it because EO has been amazing. And I was like, it's definitely worth the time to see what other groups are out there. So there's one called TAB, so it's the Alternative Board, which is very similar. There is a usually a moderator, but they hold like a board. You basically have a board of directors for your company, in a sense, that you can go to for advice, go to for different things that you would usually get out of a board of directors, just like almost like a nonprofit would have. And they organize this board for you, and the other members are there to call on. And then they have some workshops and things like that. So it's kind of similar, I would say, to EO. There's YPO, which is almost a carbon copy of EO. It's just at a different kind of level. I think you got to be 10 million or more in revenue is one of the qualifications. But that's just like an EO kind of concept. But then there's like a Vistage. Vistage is actually, I want to say they've sponsored like golf tournaments, so they have a little bit more of a name for themselves, I feel like. But that one has a moderator. So the person moderates all these groups, where EO is forums and private group settings where there's not really a moderator. It kind of shifts around. So you want someone that's going to be a moderator and hold you accountable, or do you want more peers that you can meet with and they hold you accountable? So there's a couple of different formats out there. There's also C12, which is very similar. It's a Christian based. So if that's something you're interested in, there's groups out there for that. And then kind of separate, it's not a group, but it's like Ski. He commented, Ski, we've sat down with Ski and done a workshop through him and some training where he came in and evaluated what we were doing and gave us kind of some direction to make some changes. So it's mentorship, is seeking other help and saying, hey, we're doing great, but we can do better. So, a group like this will help you think out of the box to get off your butt and make those changes that you need to make, and have someone that's going to hold you accountable. That next week when we meet, hey, did you do that thing you said you were going to do? Yeah, I didn't get around to it. Well, we're all sitting here looking at you like, get that done, So,
yeah. So there's plenty to choose from. What we're aiming for, again, are companies where the founder has started the business and is either working in a part-time or is already transitioned over to full-time and looking to scale it. So kind of like early stage businesses, if you will. We think we can really help out a lot there. We've priced this so that it's appropriate for that level of company. And we're looking to get this thing kicked off in about the next month or so. So if you're interested, go to arraymentors.com. There's a really simple form to fill out, just basically your name and email address. And in the next couple of weeks, we're going to be reaching out and doing some interviews with either me or Kevin, or maybe even both of us. And we'll be picking the first cohort of folks to be going through the mastermind.
Yeah. So right now we're just asking for your name and stuff. We just want to have the conversation with you, see what you're up to, interview you, make sure you're a good fit, make sure we're a good fit. And this is going to be an ongoing thing. So it's not like a workshop where it's a 12-week program. We're looking for people that want to be part of this. And as we grow this group and be part of selecting new people when they come in, whatever, we want to grow this organically. And so, again, we're being very selective. It's limited. We're not yet sure how many people, I guess, we'll bring into this, but it's not about scaling this group to be as big as it possibly can be. It's about having the right people in here.
Totally agree. Well, I'm super excited. I think it's going to be great. We need to get Kevin some new business cards because clearly he's part of Array Mentors now.
That's right.
So
we're just excited about it. So
it's going to be great, man. I'm looking forward to it. So I'm looking forward to leading the confidential forums, and then we're going to have a Slack group where you can post your questions for everybody. And we've got a lot of other things planned that we haven't even put on the landing page yet. So we're going to really do this thing right.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great opportunity for anybody that's interested. Just put your name in. We'll get you the details after that. And we're looking to kick this off, hopefully this month if we can. We just need we need a certain amount of people to get going with. And once we hit that number, we'll kick everything off and be ready to go.
Right on. Looking forward to it. All right, Kevin Daisy.
All right. If anyone's got any questions, reach out to Erik and I personally on LinkedIn would be best for me, or Facebook. It doesn't matter. Ask us questions. And we'll be happy to answer those for you. If you have someone you want to refer, again, ping us and we'll get back to you. So just direct message us on social media somewhere, or fill out the form and we'll talk to you there.
Right on. All right, bud. Talk to you later.